It's time we stop lying to ourselves. Pumpkin bread, just like zucchini bread and banana bread, is cake. The sooner that you accept it to be a misnomer, the sooner you can enjoy the easiest possible 2-ingredient pumpkin bread, a box of spice cake mix, and a 15-ounce can of pure pumpkin. Just mix these two together, plop the resulting batter in a loaf pan, and bake it at 350 Fahrenheit until a toothpick goes in and comes out clean. About 35 minutes. It's not much of a looker, but it's got a certain sort of fudgy quality to it. It works just as well in a muffin tin, and since there are no eggs in it, it just so happens to be vegan. For a tastier version, it's honestly hard to beat the BA recipe. It's linked in the description as always, so instead of walking you through each step as if you'd rather follow along with a video than a written recipe, I'll explain why the extra work results in tastier results. This recipe calls for freshly grated ginger and nutmeg instead of those dried powders that might be several years old. You will dirty far more dishes setting up the mise en place, but using one bowl for wet ingredients and the other for dry prevents overmixing, thus preventing too much gluten development, thus keeping the bread from getting tough. It calls for expensive extra virgin olive oil where others may call for less flavorful vegetable oil, and it also involves a crunchy candied pumpkin seed topping as well as a maple butter. It bakes at 325 for an hour and a half, and you ensure even baking by rotating it halfway. It is much more effort than the 2-ingredient 30-minute version that came before it, but the improvement in taste, texture, and appearance is undeniable. For the prettier variation, feel free to dial down the fussiness and use a more classic recipe that calls for pre-ground pie spices and inexpensive neutral oils. Martha Stewart has one, Food 52 has one, and you could pick just about any recipe that caters to your dietary restrictions or pantry contents. Instead of putting in extra effort to craft dainty streusels or striking glazes, let money in consumer goods be your shortcut once again. This is the Williams-Sonoma exclusive Sunflower Harvest loaf pan from Nordic Ware, but Nordic Ware make ton of incredibly detailed and super attractive buntlet cake or loaf pans to make even the most basic of baked goods look impressive. If you use one of these, be extra generous with the non-stick spray. This has to come out cleanly, or like an ill-fated encounter with an ex, the appearance will fall apart as soon as you turn it out. You might be able to cover it up with powdered sugar, but where is the artistry in that? You may think that someone who just baked 3 loaves on cam is absolutely swimming in excess, but please allow me to stack just a little bit more. The educational portion of this lesson is now over. I'm gonna go get some bread. Y'all need anything? House paid me to talk about them in this video. They might have known that I'm a fan of aperitifs and digestifs as made evident in my Amaro video, and they even sent me a flavor called bitter clove. It's meant to evoke the sort of herbal medicinal flavors of Amaro, and it fits in with this whole video's autumnal vibe since any pumpkin bread worth its salt will contain clove in the batter. Honestly though, this one is surprisingly not for me. The peach passion fruit flavor, however, is right up my alley. It's got that complex, dark, and fruity sort of tiki drink vibe from ingredients like dried banana, and it can be cut with seltzer or amped up as a cocktail with sparkling wine or rum. I've just been drinking it plain over ice since I got it. I think that the adult beverage industry has really been hurting for any sort of innovation that doesn't result in yet another canned hard seltzer, and House stands out as the first direct-to-consumer drink that I've heard of. They even list the nutritional facts and the ingredients inside, whereas most alcoholic beverages definitely do not. The first 100 people to purchase 2 bottles of House using the link in my description and my code InternetShaquille will get $10 off and free shipping. You can order online and it will arrive right at your door.